here with her singing ass. Let's get to the show.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Q, and today we are making beautiful double cheeseburgers from scratch. I'm talking about we're grinding the meat, and we're also making some beautiful brioche buns from Scrinatch. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and throw in that flour. We're also throwing in some sweet cream unsalted butter because we're going to add in salt a little later on. We didn't need to use unsalted butter with this, but right now what we're doing is we're putting everything into the stand mixer so that the butter and the flour can come together, kind of like how you would do at the beginning of making biscuits. You know how you kind of cut in the butter into the flour? That's what we're doing right now with the paddle attachment on the stand mixer. Okay. And I love brioche buns because they are enriched. They're enriched with butter and egg, and it just makes such a soft, delicious dough. And right then and there, you guys saw me put in some fleur de sel, which is a beautiful salt. It's usually used as a finishing salt, but I like it because it's not as salty as regular salt. It's just really delicious. And then we're also adding in an egg into our mixture right here, which is warm water, milk, and yeast. So we also added in that egg into that, and it's also sugar in there as well. Pour that on in there. The yeast has been activated. So now we're going to allow the dough to come together. This brioche dough is a very sticky dough, which means that it's a dough that's made with a lot of liquid. So you see how soft that is? That's exactly how it's supposed to be. And now we're going to swap out the paddle attachment, and we're going to put in our dough hook. All right, you see what I'm saying? Put that dough hook on in there, and we're going to allow this to mix in the stand mixer for about 8 minutes. So we're going to let it do its thing. Now that we've allowed the dough hook to do the kneading for 8 minutes with the dough, you can see that it's a really sticky dough. Like, it's very soft, which is good. That's gonna translate into delicious soft brioche buns, right? We took some olive oil, coated the inside of our bowl, and we're gonna remove that dough with my pastry scraper. The only problem is I was using my metal scraper, and that didn't give much flexibility as far as getting the dough out of the bowl, and it was much bigger. It was too big for me to be able to get all the dough out of there properly. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to swap it out for my smaller plastic pink one, which worked perfectly, and I was able to go ahead and get all of the dough out of the mixing bowl with no more hassle. So right now, that's what I'm doing. I went to go grab it, and that's what I used to get the rest of the dough out, and that was much more much easier to work with as far as the size of it. See, I got it all out. So now we're gonna just let this rise. We're gonna cover this with some saran wrap, and once we cover it with some saran wrap, we're gonna go ahead and put it over by the stove. What I like to do is I open the oven door and I turn the oven on about a good 350. Turn it on about a 350 because you don't want it too high, because you don't want to cook your dough. You see what I'm saying? You want that indirect heat to go ahead and, you know, make the yeast all snuggle wuggle so it'll grow. Now we have our boneless chuck roast, which is a boneless chuck beef roast, and that's what we're going to use to make our ground beef. And I also added in some fresh garlic, onion, serrano chili, and thyme. And we're going to go ahead and throw all that together into and also some green onion too, scallion when she feeling bougie. Now this first go around, I put some meat in there and it did not work. Y'all, it was frustrating. It didn't work, but the reason why it didn't work is because there was a piece that I had forgotten to put inside the grinder. Once I realized that, everything was smooth sailing, and you'll be able to see that in a little bit. But right now I'm still trying to figure out like what the hell is going on. What is wrong with the grinder? See, no meat is coming out. It's just kind of staying stagnant right there. It's like, come on now. So yeah, I'm back. So I figured it out. It was a piece missing. Haha. But it should be fine this time. There we go. We got ground meat. There we go. Now we got ground beef. There we go. Make us some burgers. We're gonna take it through one more time. Now, right here, y'all, is where I kind of messed up. I should have just let it go on that first grind and let it do what it's doing. But instead, I took it through for another grind. You see what I'm saying? Which did something to the texture that I really didn't like. So next time, I'm just gonna grind the beef that one time and let it be that. You know, going back and grinding it again for that finer grind, that finer consistency was not the best choice. So next time I'll just do a one grind and be done with it. I kind of like the toothsomeness of having it with a coarser grind. It's much better that way. But y'all, what is really delicious about this is adding in that thyme, adding in the onion, the chilies, all that stuff. So now we're about to season the meat, because you know we gotta season the meat, baby. You know we gotta season the meat. And so we're not gonna do too much as far as the seasoning is concerned. We're gonna throw in some onion powder. We're going to throw in some garlic powder because we're fortifying those beautiful aromatic flavors. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do. We're going to add in some paprika. Hey, paprika. Some Worcestershire sauce, because I can say Worcestershire sauce. So now we're going to add in some sea salt. Yes, we seasoned the meat. A little later on, I added in some black pepper, because y'all know how I feel about fresh black pepper. I don't think I added it on screen, but I did add in some freshly ground black pepper. Beautiful. And now I'm just, stirring around those seasonings, letting them get acquainted, and we just gonna let that go ahead and marinate for a minute. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and take the dough that we had, sitting and allowing it to rise, and look how big it got. It's still very soft, as you can see, and very sticky, which is good. That's the consistency that you want these brioche buns to be. At some point, I'm going to make these brioche buns and allow them to rise like overnight. I want to see what that does, because I know the longer that you let them rise, the bigger that they get, the fluffier that they get, and the better the texture of it. Now, these were delicious. I'm talking about fire. Do you feel me? Just like when I had made that fresh loaf of bread, and if you guys want to see that that video, I did do a short for it. And y'all, I admonish you all to try to make your own fresh bread at least once in your lifetime. It is a very satisfying and gratifying, experience, and just doing the steps of it, and then, you know, getting to eat the finished product at the end is super satisfying and gratifying. I promise you, it is so fun to just do things like this, because it's like, you have these ingredients and that's all they were, and then you put them together and then something really delicious came out of it. Just like when I make baked goods and different stuff like that. And baking can seem intimidating, yes, but once you get into it and once you get started doing it, it is so much fun. It really is. And if you guys notice, normally at this stage of you know, working with the dough, I would have punched the air out of it. I didn't do that with this one, simply because you want to maintain that air inside of those buns, and you carefully cup them, you know what I'm saying, and roll them into the buns that they're gonna turn into, you know. And also, like I said, another thing that I noticed that I'm working on as far as with my baking goods is making them identical sizes. I still haven't quite mastered that yet, but I'm still working on it, and I'm getting a lot better, you know, as far as like just eyeballing it. But I definitely want to start using my scale to see, you know, how that'll work out with measuring the balls of dough or whatever, what have you, so that they're more identical. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to start working on that. Like, I'm the type of person, if I notice that it's something that I can improve upon, I definitely will try to improve upon it. Like, I've never been, like I said, most of the time we are our most harshest critics, and that is definitely true for me, because I definitely pay attention to what I do. All right, you guys, now we've allowed these beautiful buns to proof once again for another hour. Like I said, I want to be able to just really take my time with the brioche buns and allow them to rise fully, like overnight, you know what I'm saying, and then bake them. But these, at this stage, they turned out very delicious, very beautiful. I just want to see how far we could take it with the proofing and what it would be versus this, because, you know, it's a chemical reaction that occurs with the yeast. It's releasing those gases, you know, and if it's just left to kind of do what it needs to do overnight in the refrigerator, I wonder what the flavors, you know, what flavors would develop in the bread, you know what I mean? Like, and so now what I'm doing, y'all, is ever so gently brushing the buns with an egg wash. It's nothing but just an egg and a little bit of water. And so we're just brushing over the tops of the brioche buns, and that's going to give it beautiful color, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to press too hard with the brush, because you, like, again, you're letting it proof. You want to be real gentle with the buns. You don't want to let out any of the air, because if you let out too much of the air, they're going to be flat, and that's not what you want, you know what I'm saying? So apply the proper amount of pressure in this step. You feel it? And on this part too, after you've put the egg wash, if you want to go ahead and sprinkle you a little bit of sesame seeds or poppy seeds or whatever, what have you, this is definitely the time to do that. Flax seeds, I made some really beautiful flaxseed buns a ways back, and I posted it on Instagram. I posted it on Instagram, and I did a beautiful fried chicken sandwich. It was smothered in some sweet and sassy sauce. Child, you couldn't tell me nothing. It was just so delicious. And these burgers, the flavor, like I said, was absolutely just delicious, flavorful, bomb. The texture, however, like I said, I would have much rather did a coarse grind, and that's what I'm gonna do next time. I got some more ground beef and stuff, because I want to explore some more of the burger realm, because that was just delicious. All right, y'all, and now I'm gonna go ahead and start to cook our burgers. It's time to go ahead and fry them burgers up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like a smash burger type method. I'm gonna roll them up into little balls, and then we're gonna smash them into thinner patties, and that's how we're gonna get that good crust all the way around, and that's how we're gonna fry them burgers, child. All right, so here's a little ASMR for y'all. Y'all, these patties turned out so beautiful and delicious. Look at that. Look at how that provolone cheese just draped all over those burgers. So now I also, I didn't show you guys this step, but I sauteed some onions with a little bit of soy sauce. Yeah, it's fire. Try it. Saute your onions with a little bit of soy sauce, and look at that beautiful toast that I did on those fresh brioche buns. Gorgeous. We took some real Hellman's mayo, put a light little layer of that. Then we're gonna add those 2 patties with the cheese and the sauteed onions. Add some fresh onions on top, because y'all know I love the snap and the crunch and the delicious flavor. Plus, onions are just really good aromatics. They have a host of health benefit. Y'all know me, I'm gonna come through with the stats. And then we also added in some beautiful stackable pickles. It made my mouth water. And then we're gonna add in some mustard, and that's it. Very delicious, very simple, straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? Good food, fresh. And I know everything that went into this burger. I know everything that went into this bun. The cheese, the pickles, and I love the Sargento brand of cheese. Very delicious. Now let's look at the plate up. This is beautiful food, right? Very delicious. The bun just baked perfectly, toasted perfectly with some sweet cream and salted butter. On the side, we have some beautiful golden spicy baked sriracha potato wedges. So it was sriracha and herbs and all types of different deliciousness that went on with these potato wedges. I didn't do a full video for the potato wedges because I really wanted to do them a little bit different. So when I do the recipe for that, then you know what I mean, I went on ahead and I baked them and everything, which is fine, because that's what I did want to do. I wanted to oven bake them, and they did come out with the crispness and all of that, but it's just the way that I wanted to present them, and I didn't do that in this particular video, so I didn't see a point in making a whole video out of it. So here's the golden potatoes that were oven fried. Very delicious and soft and pillowy on the inside. Nice little crispiness around the edges of it. Very delicious, spicy, with that flavorful seasoning that I put on them. And then of course I always save some you know, when I make the potatoes, when I make the fresh potato fries, I normally save some and freeze them, so if the kids get hungry or something, they can throw them in the air fryer or throw them in the oven, whatever, what have you. You feel me? And then I ate that with just some straightforward sour cream. Now we about to bite this burger. Let's go ahead and get into this burger. And right now, to be honest with y'all, I kind of just want to be on some chill tip, you know. Not gonna do a whole lot of talking. I'm just hungry and I just want to eat this burger, and I'm gonna let the music play and relax and let y'all watch me eat this burger. Of course y'all know that first bite was for y'all, right? Period. Yes, y'all, I done messed around and got full, child. Whew, it was delicious. I thoroughly enjoyed the freshness of everything. It was just fabulous. I really enjoy being able to do these types of things, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys feel empowered to try different things like baking. You know what I'm saying? If you have a stand mixer that has a grinder attachment, try grinding your own meats. It is delicious. It's just a certain freshness that comes along with it. There's not as much like nitrates and all that different type of stuff, and it just really makes you feel a lot better. And it also has that real delicious restaurant quality flavor to your food, child, and that makes me feel amazing. Absolutely amazing. Period. I really enjoyed this meal. Thanks for watching, guys. Period. See you guys next time. Mwah. Alright, y'all, thanks for coming through once again and vibing with your girl Q. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys like this art, go ahead, hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button so you can subscribe to your girl, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the freshness coming from the Fresh Squad. God.